Namaste and welcome to Wisdom at Sunrise. By developing stronger movement and mindfulness practices, we will find peace through chaos. Time to flow.
Good morning. Today we're talking about getting that squat, but not just any kind of squat, the low squat, that butt to ground squat, because its basic human movement is so important and the application to everyday life is very, very important. There's a quote from a guy I follow, Ryan Hurst from GMB Fitness, that really struck me. It's squatting is a fundamental position that once upon a time was a position of rest. And it struck me because it's true. I see my son all the time. He's playing or hanging out, and he will literally just be in a low squat position, just hanging out. And while I can hang out probably longer and more comfortably in a squat position than most people, I can't do that, and I want to be honest. So when we look at the squat, the overall importance of it is really astonishing, and people really need to work on being able to get into the low squat every day. I mean, the application is crazy, from sitting and standing from chairs, toilets, getting out of bed, keeping ourselves stable while we're in seated positions and while we're standing and transitioning. I mean, there's just a few key benefits of the squat. It's full body, so you're going to be recruiting a lot of muscles. You're looking towards a deep squat, so we're not talking about, the parallel squat or anything like that. We're talking about body weight squat. And contrary to belief, it does help strengthen your bones, your knees, your ligaments, and different tissues, both in the knees and the hips. So it's really important. So let's look at what a proper squat looks like. Know that it's going to look different from everybody. Like when you're in that low position, it's not always going to look the same. But what you really want is your feet about hip width, maybe a little bit more apart, toes pointing forward or slightly out, your torso as straight as possible, and your neck neutral. And in order to get into this position as you squat down, grab onto something heavy in front of you so that way you can pull your hips down, because we want to be in the low position. And sometimes at the beginning, it's really hard to stay in that position or even get into that position. So being able to use that force in front of you to help you will be beneficial. The lower back will round a little bit in a bodyweight squat, so don't worry about that. But what you still want to do is focus on, basically rotating your pelvis back, and as you, tighten up your core so it keeps your torso upright as much as possible. And again, what do you do when you get there, right? Well, not really anything. If it's feeling real super tight, or you're using that weighted object in front of you, you really should just sit there for as long as you can. Try to sit there for a couple of sets of 30 seconds and just kind of get comfortable with that. And then when you get comfortable sitting, that is when you can start opening up into some type of movement, whether it be laterally or front and back, or some type of squat, chicken walk, if you will, or something like that. But what we're talking about today is the ability to get down there and stay down there comfortably. And you want to be able to do it for as long as possible. But again, let's start with a couple of 30-second reps until you can do it on your own. And then if you can sit there for 2 to 5 minutes, your squat game is going to start improving, and you're going to start seeing improved mobility and flexibility in other parts of your body, including your knees, ankles, hips, back, all of that. So try that out a little bit and tell me how it works. If you have a comment, leave it, and I will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for flowing with us. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the show, and follow us on social media at Warrior Monk Method.